Every morning, millions of Americans wake up and see the same familiar face. On the TV screen where she is broadcasting that is, Savannah Guthrie. Confident, always composed. For years, Savannah Guthrie has lived inside one of the loudest worlds imaginable, national television, with breaking news, political interviews, the invisible pressure of live broadcasting. A career built under constant attention, where millions are always watching. From the outside, it feels easy to imagine what her life must look like. Fame, celebrity circles, a glamorous world constantly surrounded by cameras. Because when someone becomes one of the most recognizable women in America, wouldn't fame naturally follow them home? But somehow, Savannah Guthrie's story seems to move in the opposite direction. When the cameras turn off, the noise disappears, and quietly, almost unexpectedly, she returns to something much smaller, a family life in Brooklyn Heights. Morning routines, private moments. So how does a woman with millions watching seem far more interested in protecting peace than chasing spotlight? Perhaps part of the answer begins far away from television studios, inside the quiet life Savannah Guthrie carefully built beyond the spotlight. Clearly, that's Brooklyn Heights. Because in 2023, Savannah Guthrie and her husband, Michael Feldman, quietly made a major family decision, purchasing a 6-bedroom, 4-bathroom townhouse spanning roughly 4,500 square feet for $11.35 million in one of New York City's most peaceful neighborhoods. But interestingly, this move never felt like celebrity excess. According to reports, the couple moved on from their Tribeca apartment because they had long dreamed of living in a townhouse, a place that felt more like a true family home. Tucked along a quiet, tree-lined street overlooking the East River, the Brooklyn Heights property feels warm and grounded rather than flashy, far removed from the oversized celebrity mansions people often expect. And through the rare moments Savannah shares online, the house feels less like something designed to impress and more like somewhere built to live. Morning light pouring through oversized windows, tall bookshelves lining the living room, open ceilings, and at the center of it all, a large family kitchen. During Michael Feldman's birthday, Savannah shared photos of him barefoot making pizza inside the bright white kitchen, surrounded by stainless steel appliances, modern pendant lights, checkered red and white kitchen towels, and the unmistakable signs of real family life left casually across the countertops. It felt cozy, lived in, the kind of place where family naturally gathers. She rarely posts luxury, rarely performs celebrity. Instead, her social media quietly captures softer moments. A Christmas tree filled with family memories, including daughter Vale's playful Swiftie ornament, birthdays at home, or afternoons spent together at Brooklyn Bridge Park. Even motherhood, Savannah talks about honestly. She once admitted, "I think parenting is so hard." Yet underneath the exhaustion, her message always feels consistent. Being present matters. A woman surrounded by cameras, who seems to value ordinary mornings more than public attention. Because despite career success and occasional appearances at events like the US Open, opera, or hockey games, home still feels like the center of everything. A safe haven, a kitchen filled with sunlight, children running through the house, Michael cooking, and a place where Savannah no longer has to perform for anyone, not built to impress. But lives this peaceful rarely happen by accident, because long before Brooklyn Heights became home, Savannah Guthrie spent years building a career and financial stability strong enough to make this quieter life possible. As you all know, she could easily live a much more luxurious life, but she simply chooses not to. Behind the calm, graceful image is one of the most successful women in American television. For more than 15 years, Savannah Guthrie has been a major force at NBC News. She joined NBC in 2007 as a legal correspondent before quickly becoming a White House correspondent from 2008 to 2011. From there, Savannah moved through increasingly visible roles, hosting the Daily Rundown on MSNBC, serving as chief legal correspondent, and eventually becoming co-anchor of The Today Show in July 2012, a role she has now held for more than 13 years. Over time, she became one of the most familiar faces in American media. Presidential interviews, election coverage, the Olympics, the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, national moments watched by millions. And during her years on air, Today earned a Peabody Award, along with multiple Daytime Emmy Awards for Outstanding Morning Program. Savannah herself was later recognized in the Time 100 Most Influential People, 2018, and inducted into the Broadcasting and Cable Hall of Fame, 2022, while also earning multiple News Emmy Awards and the prestigious Edward R. Murrow Award. In other words, Savannah Guthrie isn't simply successful. She is one of the most influential and stable figures in modern American television, and financially, that success became enormous. According to Celebrity Net Worth, updated in March 2026, Savannah's estimated net worth sits at approximately $50 million, while her salary for hosting NBC's Today is reported at $24 million per year. Reportedly comes primarily from NBC salary, books, and real estate investments, including the family's $11.35 million Brooklyn Heights townhouse purchased in 2023, along with previous Tribeca properties. And this may be what makes Savannah's lifestyle feel quietly fascinating, because despite having every reason to live extravagantly, she rarely performs wealth. No constant luxury displays, no endless designer fashion posts. Instead, the focus seems to return to the same things: family dinners, children, quiet mornings at home. So in your opinion, where does that humility truly come from? Because long before national television, awards, and financial success, Savannah Guthrie's story began somewhere much quieter. Savannah Clark Guthrie was born in Melbourne, Australia, where her father, Charles Guthrie, worked as a mining engineer. But when she was just 2 years old, the family returned to the United States and settled in Tucson, Arizona, where most of her childhood unfolded. She grew up as the youngest of 3 children, alongside sister Annie and brother Cameron, inside a close-knit family that valued discipline, education, and substance over appearances, because one moment would permanently reshape Savannah's life. When she was 16 years old, during her senior year of high school, her father died suddenly of a heart attack while working in Mexico. He was only 49 years old, and in many ways, the world she knew changed overnight. Years later, Savannah described the loss as something that deeply shook her family. Suddenly, the sense of stability disappeared, and it was her mother, Nancy Guthrie, who quietly stepped into the center of everything. Before then, Nancy had largely been a stay-at-home mother. After Charles died, she returned to work, taking a job as a clerk at the University of Arizona to help support the family and make sure her children could continue moving forward. Savannah has often spoken about her mother with deep admiration, describing her as someone incredibly strong, almost unbreakable. Perhaps this is where something important about Savannah begins to make sense. Losing security so young has a way of changing how people see the world. It teaches you how fragile life can feel. That is why Savannah never seemed overly fascinated by celebrity culture or public attention. Instead, she built stability the slower way, through discipline, through education. She first studied journalism at the University of Arizona, graduating cum laude, before later earning a Juris Doctor degree from Georgetown University Law Center, where she graduated magna cum laude and even achieved the highest score on the Arizona bar exam. Law first taught her structure. Journalism later gave her purpose. And somewhere between those two worlds, Savannah developed the resilience people now quietly associate with her. Calm under pressure, grounded. Not because life was easy, but because life forced her to become strong early. Maybe that explains why her life today feels so different from traditional celebrity culture. But even for someone this grounded, Living in the public eye for decades comes with pressures most people never fully see. And behind Savannah Guthrie's calm presence, there have been difficult moments the cameras rarely capture. While viewers see confidence at 7 in the morning, Savannah's day begins long before sunrise. She has shared that her alarm often goes off around 3:30 to 4 a.m., giving her time to prepare before stepping into one of the most demanding jobs in American television. As Savannah explained, "I do my homework that I have, the preparation I have for the show, in the morning." With a car arriving around 5 a.m., she typically reaches the studio by 5:30, preparing for a broadcast that begins long before most people even pour coffee. And by 6:30 a.m., there is no room for hesitation. Live teases, opening segments, affiliate crosstalks, breaking updates. Everything happens in real time. No second takes, no editing, no opportunity to start over. For hours, Savannah is expected to stay calm, informed, and composed in front of millions of viewers. Every single morning. Perhaps that's the invisible cost of national television. Because behind the recognition and success comes constant scrutiny. The pressure to always look polished, always appear emotionally steady, always be on, even during exhaustion. As one of America's most visible female anchors, Savannah has spent years living under public observation, where appearance, personal choices, and private life often become part of public conversation. Success brought influence, financial security, recognition. But it also slowly made privacy feel rare. And perhaps nowhere did that pressure feel heavier than motherhood. Savannah became a mother later in life, welcoming daughter Vale at age 42, before enduring a difficult fertility journey that included miscarriage and multiple IVF rounds before having son Charlie. She has spoken openly about how motherhood brought not just chaos, but what she described as abundance. Even while on set, Savannah has admitted to texting her husband and caregivers throughout the morning, quietly managing family life between national broadcasts. For Savannah, family seems to have shifted the center of gravity. After years of performing calm for millions, Savannah Guthrie began searching for something deeper, a life that actually felt calm when the cameras finally turned off. Which may explain why the most important part of Savannah Guthrie's story today isn't fame or money at all, but the personal values that quietly shape the way she chooses to live. At a time when public figures are often expected to constantly share, constantly appear, and constantly stay relevant, Savannah appears to move in the opposite direction. She rarely performs wealth, rarely turns family life into spectacle. And despite having every reason to live more publicly, she seems far more drawn to ordinary moments. A family dinner inside the Brooklyn Heights kitchen, afternoons with her children. The kinds of moments that feel meaningful precisely because they are not being performed for attention. Because over time, Savannah has spoken openly about the importance of boundaries, both for her children and for herself. The balance between career and family, public life and private peace. And maybe that philosophy comes from experience. Losing her father at a young age. Years of hard work before success arrived. The emotional challenges of IVF and motherhood. All of it seems to have quietly reshaped what success actually means to her, which may be the real lesson inside Savannah Guthrie's story. That sometimes true success isn't becoming more visible. It's finally reaching a point where you no longer need to be. So what do you think about Savannah Guthrie's life today? Do you see her quiet, family-centered lifestyle as the real definition of success? Or do you think living in the public eye always comes with sacrifices no one fully sees? Let us know your thoughts below.